And we're live. What's up, everybody? It's time for the Nerd Den. We've got Avery, Andrew, and Zach. We're just chilling out. And yeah, Friday night. Let's get to it. Let's nerd out and relax. I got a nice little Sam Adams beer for Christmas coming up. And Hanukkah. I'm celebrating Hanukkah. So time to relax and hang out. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Not too much. Not too much.
Yo.
Andrew, how's the world in comics? By the way, congratulations on your football team winning a sports game.
Yes.
Yay, sports ball.
Three games in a row and on their way to potentially winning the division and actually making it to the playoffs.
That's like the first time since they started.
First time in like many years.
Yeah, like the first year or two they launched, they got in the playoffs, and everyone was like, "This is the best team ever," and then they went away.
Well, there was some politics involved in that, but yeah.
Sports ball.
Was the guy that looked like Super Mario? The owner that looked like
the owner, Shad Khan. Yes.
Yeah.
He's got he's very famous for his mustache.
Yeah.
So what's up, guys?
Not much, man. I spent literally all day trying to get a photocopy made. It's a huge
photocopy.
It literally took me 6 hours, and I didn't get my fucking photocopy.
What?
Mm-hmm. It was horrible. I spent
Do you not know how to make a photocopy?
No, I know how to make a photocopy, dude.
Oh, okay.
I know how to make a photocopy, but I completely borfed it.
How? What's the problem?
So basically, okay, so here's how my day started. So, I'm doing this sketch for Rageous, and it's ready to go. Like I've got the sketch done. I'm like, cool, I need to get it on Bristol paper so I can work on it. Yeah. That was my plan. My plan was like, we're doing this thing tonight. I'm going to hook up my camera and I'll do like a little draw stream on my side of things while we're having our
sure.
talk. I was like, cool, this is easy. It was like 11 a.m. I was like, I'm just going to go out and bust this out real quick. I'm just going to go get this printout, And so I took some Bristol paper and I made the file and I uploaded the file to their server. There's a printing place literally 5 minutes down the street. So I was like, this is perfect. And it's not like cheap, like they do banners and big stuff. So I was like, okay, they'll be able to do it. So I get there and I walk in and my gut, the minute I saw the person behind the counter, I was just like, oh fuck me, this is not going to go well. Like I just knew it. Like you walk in and you're just like, fuck. So I don't know, man. My gut told me that it was going to be a problem. So I walk in and the person was nice enough. My gut instinct told me that this person didn't have a fucking clue as to how to do anything. And I was right. So I go in there and he's like, oh, what do you need? I'm like, oh, here, I just need this printed. I've got the file. It's already done in Photoshop. I've sent it to your server. You just need to download it. And I brought the paper. And so, he's super slow and, he's an older guy. And I'm like, okay, well, this is all right. I'm being polite and fine. And then he tries to put the paper in the auto feeder at the bottom, underneath the printer. And he, pushes a bunch of buttons on the pad there, goes back to his computer, pushes a bunch of buttons on the pad there, and then goes ahead and tries to start. Yeah, Avery, I see that, you dick. I know.
This is what you do. This is what I have. It will run paper up to 13 by 19. I put through Canson watercolor paper, 110 pound. I print blue line.
Yo, dude, send me this.
Yeah, I'll email you. This is the printer I use. I print on 12 by 18, 110 pound Canson watercolor paper, and I print in blue line. Problem solved. You'll never have that problem again.
I'm gonna take you up on that. I was looking at printers today too because of this.
Yeah.
So here, I'll even send me a link to it.
And, I'll send you this email
or something. Yeah.
I'll
take a screenshot of this so I remember. So because I've been thinking about it, but I was like, oh well, I wasn't really ready to do that. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this one. So we put in the bottom of the feeder, hit the buttons on the pads, and nothing happened. Like there's no whirring, no buzzing, nothing happens. And the printer doesn't respond at all to this guy's finger touches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right. And he's like, oh, it doesn't like your paper. I was like, what? Like, yeah, it doesn't like your paper. It must not like your paper. And so he said, let me try the hand feeder thing. And so like, he puts it in the manual slide, and he's like, and then same thing, pushes the buttons, goes back, pushes more buttons, and there's no sound, nothing at all, no whirring, no nothing. And he's like, yeah, sorry, sir, it just doesn't like your paper. And I'm like, this is like 11 by 14 basic Bristol, like vellum.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so first I was like, this is stupid. Like, if it didn't like my paper, it would like, at least there'd be a whirring or some kind of, the printer would, you know, when a printer starts to work, it usually makes some sounds like it's working. And so I was like, oh, okay, no worries. How about this? How about you just print it on a regular sheet of paper? Because at this point I was like, screw it. I can put it on a light table and just like, I don't need this perfect. It's for a sketch, you know what I mean? And I'm going to be drawing on it. Like, it's not a photo. And so I was like, no worries, just print it on a regular sheet of paper, and I'll just take it, like 11 by 17. And he was just like, he just like broke down, dude. He's like, I don't have time. I don't have time for this right now. I'm really busy. I'm backed up. I'm looking around. I'm the only one in the whole fucking store.
Yeah.
There's nobody else, dude. There was like one guy came in to drop off a package for FedEx, but didn't sign anything, just put it on the counter, said, thank you. Like, there's no one there. And so like, he's like, I'm really backed up, and you know, there's no time, and I don't have time to deal with this right now. And this is just what happens when you come in the day before we close up. And I'm like, what? I was like, okay. And so you would be proud of me because I kept my cool and I didn't say anything stupid. But like, I was like, okay, fine, no problem. And I left, and I was like, like the minute I left that store, I was like, what the fuck is that bullshit? I just like teed off into the air because I was like, like, first he blames the paper size. And then when I'm like, cool, use other paper, he's like, oh no, it's your fault. I'm like, I'm just standing here. Like, I gave you the file, I gave you everything. So anyway, I come back to the house, and I'm like, you know, making sure that the kids are not around. Hey, what's up, Galaxy Rider?
Yeah.
How's it going? Hey, how you doing? I'm telling a story about my crazy day here.
Do they have a Best Buy near you?
Well, so here's the deal. They have a Staples.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Regis?
They may
what's
have
up, KG? How you guys doing? KG, what's up? How you guys doing? KG, this is actually it's Regis. This is a story for you, actually. So this is I'm telling the story of Regis's sketch because I spent 6 hours trying to get it photocopied onto a piece of paper. And so I've just covered the first place that I've gone, and all I wanted to do, I have the Photoshop file. I'm just trying to get it on it because just to recap, my original idea for tonight was I was like, I have a drawing camera over here. I was going to hook it up. I'll do like a little drawing stream, like an ink stream while we're talking. I'll be like, Regis' drawing. It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
And plus I can get the damn thing done because Regis has been super, super patient with me, and I appreciate that greatly. It's getting done. So anyway, this guy first blames the paper, that I didn't use the right paper size, or he can't, for some reason, 11 by 14 is a magical size that can't be printed on. And then when I'm like, well, cool, just print it on any piece of paper, because I can like just toss it on a light table and trace it off, you know, I just need the sketch on a sheet of paper, like on Bristol, you know. And then he's like, oh, I can't do it, I'm backed up, and it's too much, and I can't, it's too much, you know, I don't have enough time to deal with this right now, and this is what happens when you bring it in last minute before we close up. And I'm like, last minute before we close? Like, it's 11 a.m. on a Friday, bro. Like Christmas Eve is tomorrow. Like, okay. So I come back, you know, and I walk in the door. Melissa wants to see the sketch. She's like, oh, did you get it? And I'm like, are the kids around? And she's like, they're upstairs watching TV. Why? And I'm like, cool. So it's just you and me? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, this mother beep, 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 beep. Yeah. And she's like, holy shit. I'm like, I'm telling you, right? She was like, I can't believe you did that. I was like, I'm telling you, like, it's a crazy thing. So I was like, look, I'm going to get this done today. This is the day to do it. I'm just going to do it. And so I said, you know what? Galaxy Rider says, as someone who worked at a print shop, this is total BS. I could have totally done it. Dude, I worked at a print shop too. You're 100% right. It is not that difficult to print something on a sheet of paper, especially with like a thing like fully docked out. Hey, what's up, MK, GM? Yeah. What's up, brother? So I come back and I kind of go off and I'm like, no, this is the day we're getting this done. So I said, you know what's not going to screw up? Staples. Staples is not going to screw up. So there's a Staples about 20 minutes from here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go. We got this. I'm going to go. I know they can do it. So I put the file on a I had to find a USB drive because I haven't used a USB drive in forever. So I'm like, where the hell is a USB drive? So I futz around on my desk and I find one. I got like a little good. This is a great little USB drive I've had for years. It's like 64 gigs. It's tiny. It's awesome. So I'm like, cool. It's on here. I go and I drive to Staples, 20 minutes away. I get there. The guy says, I'm like, hey, so I just need a really simple print. I just need this printed on this Bristol. It's 11 by 14. He's like, oh yeah, no problem, man. Let's hook it up. And he's like, he looks at it and he's like, wait, let me see the paper. I'm like, yeah. He's like, cool. He says, oh, this paper's not going to work. And I'm like, what do you mean it's not going to work? He said, yeah, the printers will only, he said, the card stock is not a problem. He said, the thickness isn't a problem. He said, but the machines will only print on like 11 by 17. Like they have like standard sizes, like 8.5 by 11 or, 11 by 17 kind of thing. And I'm like, you're shitting me. He's like, yeah, sorry, man. That's just, I'm hate to breathe the bear bad news. That's just kind of how these stupid machines work. And I was like, oh, okay. So this is on me. I was like, this is not this guy because I totally should have called, right? This is a Todd thing. I'm like, I should have called to make sure, I drove 20 minutes for nothing. All right, cool. I said, okay, look. So here's the deal. So you're telling me if I go back, I said, I have 11 by 17 paper at home. I got the comic. I've got old Blue Line stuff, like really good quality, high-end paper for this. So Blue Line paper is like professional comic paper. I've got it. It's beautiful. I said, if I bring it, it's 11 by 17. If I bring it, you can do it. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, 100%. I said, because it's actually thinner than the other paper. He's like, no, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, it's not the thickness, it's the dimension. If it's 11 by 17, no print. I'm like, awesome. Not a problem. This is on me. My bad. I said, so cool. What time do you close? He said 9. We close at 9 p.m. I said, cool. And it's going to take me probably like 2 hours because I'm going to drive back 20 minutes. I'm going to I have to fix up the file because I didn't make it 11 by 17. I made it fit to 11 by 14. So I'm going to have to fix the file. It only takes 10 minutes, but it's going to take some time. I'm sure the kids will all get caught up in family crap. So I was like, it's going to take me maybe like two hours to get back. So if I come back in like 2 to 3 hours, will we be here? He's like, yeah, man, I'm here till 9. So, all right, cool. So I'm get back in the car and I call Melissa and I'm like, hey, and she's like, did you get it? And I'm like, no, I'm coming home. So I drive all the way back home and I sit down and I bust this thing out. I get it to 11 by 17. I get the dimensions, I made a Blue Line. I got it hooked up. I was like, okay, this is great. I put it and I said, this time I'm coming prepared. So I put the file on my USB drive. I bring both pads of Bristol, 11 by 17 and 11 by 14, just for fuck's sake, right? And I bring my laptop because I'm like, screw this. If I have to make the files or switch anything up, I'm going to be prepared. So I drive back. And this time Melissa's like, hey, the kids need a nap. Do you mind if we come with? And we'll just sit in the car. It's freezing here. So, she's just like, I'll just stay in the car and we'll keep it warm and the kids will pass out. I'm like, all right, that's fine. So we drive back to Staples. Now this is the third place, technically. Two unique places, but the third time I've traveled out. 20-minute drive, pull in. I walk in and I go up to the print area. And this is about 3. Yeah, it's about 3:30, probably. I walk up to the print area and there's nobody there. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. People work. They got their thing. They go in the back. People probably helping another customer. A few minutes goes by. 5 minutes goes by. 10 minutes goes by. And I'm like, fuck this. like, where the fuck is this guy? And so like I go over and I go to a manager and I'm like, hey, I need to I just need something to print. He was like, are you here to pick up or to make something? And I was like, no, I'm not. I just have to print something really simple. He's like, oh, okay, gotcha. He said, yeah, I'll make sure someone's over there for you. I'm like, all right, cool. So this guy comes over, super nice dude, actually like a nicest guy, big dude. Totally was actually really cool. And but he comes over and he's like, oh, you just need to print something. I'm like, yeah. He goes, ah, shit. I'm like, what? He's like, well, I don't really do this. It's not my department. The guy whose department it is, the guy who usually does this, today was his last day. I was like, what do you mean his last day for the holidays? He was like, no, his like last day. I was like, you mean the dude that was here like a couple hours ago? The older guy with the gray hair? He's like, oh yeah, that's him. I said, but I talked to him and he said I asked him if he was gonna be here for a couple hours, and he was like, he told me, yeah, totally. He goes, oh yeah, he does that. I'm like, you gotta be fucking with me. And I was like, look, man, please, I'm begging you. All I need is this one digital image on paper. That's all I need. I just need what do they call it? A fucking print. That's all I need. I just need it to print an image on paper. Okay. Like, and he's like, all right, well, I'll do my best. I'll see what I can do for you, man. I was like, awesome, dude. I appreciate it. Now, this guy was super nice, dude, but he was a very big guy, and he was the slowest human I've ever dealt with. Super nice though. So everything I'm about to tell you, which like the 2 or 3 things I'm going to tell you, literally took an hour and a half. Okay. So
when your wife and kids were in the car while this happened?
Yes. So so he goes over the printer and he kind of figures out how to put the USB in, and he puts the paper in to feed in, and he's like clicking with it, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's over behind there trying to get it to work, and he's like, it won't open the file. Sorry, man, it doesn't seem to want to open the file. And he was like, yeah, it's a TIF file. I was like, yeah, it's a TIFF file. He's like, yeah, I'm sorry, man. I don't want to open. Do you have it as another type of file? And I was like, I brought my Bing Todd gets a point. I'm like, I have my damn laptop. I can make any file you want. I'll make it a goddamn movie if you want. Like, whatever you want, I will make it for you. So I'm like, what do you need? Like, you're the dude. You tell me what you need. I will make it for you. He says a PDF.
PDF, okay.
I'm like, okay, cool. This is good information for me. I'm like, cool. I didn't know this. I'll make a PDF. So pop open Photoshop, make a PDF, export it, put it back on the drive, and I give it to him. He goes back over to the corner behind the machine, puts the USB in, and again, he's very slow, good guy, but very slow. Doesn't open. I'm like, the PDF doesn't open? It's a PDF. He's like, yeah, man. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't understand what to tell you. It's not working. And so he was like, you can come back here and check it out if you want. I don't really know. And so I go back there, and sure enough, the PDF doesn't open. And he's using Adobe software. So of course, Adobe software is not opening the Adobe PDF.
Yeah.
Because Adobe. So I'm like, okay. And so now I'm debugging a PC at the print shop at Staples behind the counter. And so I'm like, all right, look, I don't even know. I'm just going to give you everything. He's like, all right, I'm cool with it. He's like, I'm doing my best to help you. I was like, all right. So I give him a TIFF. I give him a JPEG. I give him a PNG. I give him another PDF, and I change the compatibility of the PDF to like Adobe 4. Like the oldest version that Photoshop will allow me to export. Okay. So now he's got every basic version of an image that you could possibly have, right? Outside of an NFT, I guess. So like I give him everything. Put it back in, and he goes back there and he's like, yeah, man, sorry, none of them are opening again. I was like, dude, do you mind if I go back there? He's like, no, I don't care. So I go back there and like, sure enough, none of them are opening. Now, that little segment of story took an hour and a half. Okay. So I'm just like,
Plenty of time for your wife to draft up divorce papers. Yeah,
totally. Yeah. Well, she took a nap. The kids took a nap. You know, it was great for them, I guess. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? So at this point, I look over and I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to buy printer ink because I have a printer. It's a piece of shit printer, which is why I came to Staples and tried to go to the other place and it ran out of ink. So I went back to the car and Melissa, I woke up Melissa, or she was waking up and I was like, hey, she was like, hi, like, hey, like, you got it. I know you got it. This is Staples. You got it. And I was like, I don't got it. You're not going to believe this. So I go through the whole story and I'm like, and I come in the car because it's cold. And I said, please, dear God, woman, please, do you remember or do you have like the number of our printer? Because it's a Canon. Because I'm sitting there while we're here, while I'm sitting at this counter, I look over and of course it's Staples. So I see Canon printer ink and I'm like, fuck, like I could have just gotten this. I don't even know. So she's like, are you serious? Like, yeah, do you happen to know? She was like, oh my God, I don't know. So she starts pouring through her emails and past purchases. Because she's Melissa, she freaking finds it. And I'm like, send me the picture. I'm going to go in. And so I go back in and the guy's like, wow, you're back. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to buy like ink. And so we went ahead and bought ink. I bought it. I haven't look, it's right here. I got it. I haven't done anything with it, but I bought the damn thing. And then we drove home.
Wait, how long has it been since you used that printer?
I don't know, Avery. Don't. It's been. It's gonna work, man.
Sometimes they don't.
It's going, dude. This will work.
I'm just saying, save that Amazon link I sent you for that episode.
Oh no. It has already been decided that there is a new printer coming our way because
Buy that one. I love it.
I will not. I refuse. Like the printer we have is a piece of shit. Like we bought it as a high-end printer. It's a Canon. It's supposed to be great, but do you remember like a few years ago? Yeah, MK says it's all good. Just put it in and run a calibration. Yeah, tell me about it. But like do you remember a few years ago when like every company was trying to out Apple? And so it was everything had to look streamlined and everything looked like a brick.
Yes.
So my printer came out of that era. So they took away all of the screens and all of the buttons. And so it's a black tube. It's the shape of a printer, but it's black, it's sleek, it's gorgeous looking. But there's no information. There's a flashing light, and the way that the light flashes, the color and the way that the light flashes is supposed to tell you what the fuck is going on. So one orange light is different than an orange light beeping slow, is different than an orange light beeping fast, is different than an orange light beeping in a pulsating motion.
God, I'd smash that thing in a heartbeat.
Yes, and not only that, but sometimes one of the the pulsating light can mean one of multiple things.
Okay.
So we're getting a new printer. We've had this printer for a long time. It's a piece of it's a very beautiful piece of shit.
Let me tell you about the printer I showed you.
Oh my God, look who just showed up. We have a special guest tonight, folks. What is up, dude?
Hey, what's up, Dusty?
Hey,
Dusty,
how's it going, guys?
You literally just missed the best story ever.
Insane.
You just missed.
Went through.
So Dusty, so MK, everyone in chat.
Go ahead and start from the beginning.
No, we'll clip this, and I will as part of our morning meetings, I will force him to watch it. Galaxy Rider says hi, Dusty. MK says,
hey, Galaxy. What up, MK?
So Dusty, when you and I last left off, I had just told you about my printer experience.
Yes.
So since then, I spent 4 more hours driving to to Staples twice, and I still don't have the fucking print, bro. I still don't have it. It doesn't exist. It doesn't happen. And so I was telling the story of this miraculous day when literally nobody in the state of North Carolina understands how to put an image onto paper using a device called a printer.
Here's the real question. Did you bring your own paper, Todd? Because I hear you have to bring your own paper to such things.
I not only well, okay, without going back through the whole story, the first time I went to Staples, I brought my 11 by 14, the Bristol paper, to which the guy said, "Oh yeah, it doesn't work with that. It has to be 11 by 17." And I was like, yo, my bad. This is actually on Todd. I could have just picked up the damn phone. I could have called. All right. So I come back with my 11 by 17 Bristol paper. Because I got all this shit. Still didn't happen, bro. Still didn't happen. Other things. The guy who was there, the print master, by the time I had gotten back, because I had to drive 20 minutes there, realized I fucked up.
It?
20 back. What?
That wasn't his real title, was it?
No.
The print master?
No, I'm giving him a title of print master because it was by the time I got back, he was no longer with the company.
And the best part is he knew it, that when you got back, he wasn't going to be there anymore.
Yeah, he totally knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely knew it.
Yeah, he fucked you on purpose.
Yeah, he completely fucked me on purpose. This is true. Yeah.
Well, if you're getting fired, you might as well have some fun, right?
Yeah. I get it, I guess. Hey, so in other news, Dusty, how are you? You have a different background tonight.
I do. I traveled a little bit for Christmas. It was supposed to be about a 45-minute drive, and it turned into like a 4-hour drive. That's okay. Everything's great. We're here now. Traffic was wonderful.
Damn.
Sure. Dusty, do you think I should? So I came up with a couple of names last night, characters. I think I should probably share them.
Oh.
What do you think? Well, maybe we'll wait till Drew comes back because he can't see and he can't spell, and so it'll make it really fun.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah. So so honestly, that was my whole day. My entire day was, and you know what I ended up with, Dusty? Printer ink.
Hey, sometimes you just got to do it yourself, Todd.
Yeah, man, I'm getting a printer. Fuck it. I'm getting a brand new printer. I don't even care. Avery hooked me up. He said he speaks a world of this Epson printer. So I'm gonna do it.
That's the printer I use. It has it's 11 by 17 scanner. Printer prints up to on 13 by 19. It has the back feeding as well as the trays. And I feed all my 110-pound watercolor paper through the back.
And it works good?
And it works great, dude.
Awesome.
I use that for all of the Devoid book. I've been using this scanner for several years now, about 3 years.
Wow. All right. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna totally take your word up on it, man. And I need something good. I just need something that works, man.
And it does work. You put your regular paper, even up to 11 by 17 in those trays or larger, you feed through the back. It opens up and telescopes out to support it.
Galaxy Rider says that's a solid printer.
Yeah.
And MK says must eat ink like a mofo.
It lasts a long time for me because I print really light blue line.
Yeah, see, we use it for mostly light blue line stuff.
Yeah, I don't print finished product on it.
The only thing that can make this shit better is if it had well, wait, it can scan. Do you use it for scanning?
Yeah, I use it for scanning too. 11 by 17.
This does 11 by 17?
Dude, this thing's like a big cube.
That's fucking dope. I was looking at one that had a much smaller print scan area. But
No.
The only thing that can make this stuff better is if I could find one that was like 18 by 24.
Yeah, like look at all its stats. It's a scanner, it's a printer, it's a fax machine. It's got 2 trays that hold up to 11 by 17 paper, and you can do the heavier paper through the back.
Dude, if I get this, can I send you a fax?
I don't have a fax number, but yeah,
I don't think anybody has a fax number.
Yeah, but still, yeah, this thing's fantastic. I love it. It's like the best $300 I ever spent.
Wow, it's awesome, man.
I don't know, Todd. I heard Kinko's does a really good job printing. Maybe you should try there next. Maybe you can do that tomorrow.
They don't even make this anymore, dude. This is it's add to list.
Really? They don't.
There's 25 options from 409, but I think that's like.
Oh, I've had mine for 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah, we'll have
does
to.
Kinko's even exist anymore?
You'll have to find the modern equivalent. They still make something like it.
Yeah, I'll find the newer one. Or
so
whatever.
that's not even an option to buy. Damn, I just went for it and found it. There has to be something.
You're good. I will find. I'm going to bookmark it and I will find it. But yeah, I'm okay with this. What's ADF?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. All right, so I'm going to share. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share with you, Andrew. I'm going to share with you guys a couple of 2 names that I came up with last night. I was helping a friend. He was creating a D&D RPG module, but using small animals like ferrets and weasels. And the game was you're a couple of weasels, like weasel characters. I was a weasel entertainer that work for Krampus, and your job is to steal Santa's sack, like while he's on the float at the Macy's Day Parade, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
So MK says auto document feeder at the top allows for multi-size scans. Got it. MK is a pro at ADF printing, apparently.
I just found it on Office Max. They have it.
So first character name, Andrew. This is for you. You will be the one to read these. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put it in chat, and then I will try to add it.
Slittlepuss.
That was my character's name. Yes.
Slittlepuss. Okay.
Slittlepuss. And then as we were, and I was like, that's kind of a fun name. It's pretty weird and oddly erotic, and I'm kind of cool with that. And then we were talking in chat about this, or on Zoom about it while we were playing, and someone said a word that spawned another word, and I was like, you know what, if I could make this, if this was a Polish name or a Polish sounding name, this could be damn funny. And so I created a new character, and I want you to read this, Andrew. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dr. Pendulous Halshahak. Halsazak. Pendulous Balsasak.
Pendulous
ball sack.
Pendulous Ballsack.
It's worth it just to hear you try to read it.
A long time ago, I played in a D&D game, which unfortunately had 2 teenage boys playing with a bunch of older men, and one of them named his character Balzac, like the French philosopher, but Balzac. And one of the guys named his character after that because he liked French philosophy. Well, and for the next 3 sessions until I finally gave up and quit, there's nothing but Balzac, but dick and ball jokes from these 2 little turds.
Yeah, I just thought the name.
I got the doctor part right, fucker.
Yeah, I just thought that the idea that the guy's name is Dr. Pendulous Balzac would be pretty funny. I don't know. But that's just me. What do I know?
Hey Todd.
You you get a bunch of middle-aged Gen X guys and the token millennial, or are you Gen Z? I'm not really sure.
Who, me?
No, Dusty.
Who, me?
Yeah, millennial or Gen Z.
I don't know what either of those terms mean. But I'm almost 40, so whatever that makes me.
Probably millennial then. So you get a bunch of random Gen Xers and millennials, gathered in one place, and within 40 minutes, the first dick joke shows up. And which goes to show that inside every man is a teenage boy who's never grown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for teenage boys that have never grown up.
I thought that was Andrew.
No,
That's
he's a tween girl. Trust me.
Be careful saying that because it could very easily be misconstrued.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
All right.
Todd, I put a link in the private chat. Office Max has it for sale.
Oh, right on. Oh shit.
Well, maybe you can just go to the Office Max and see if they can print it.
Yeah, they could probably print it. God.
Just bring both paper. It'll be okay.
I should just. I told the guy, I was like, I'm gonna buy a printer, and if that doesn't work, I'm just gonna buy a print store. At that point, I was like, I'm just gonna buy a print company. I'll just freaking invent printing. Oh man, where'd Andrew go?
I don't know.
He probably what does he call it? The break room.
Yeah. Brony emergency.
Andrew calls his bathroom the break room. So Avery, what's going on with you, man? How are things? Are you getting ready for Christmas?
Not really.
Cool.
Nothing really going on.
Yeah. Right on.
Got to get caught up on some work.
That works.
He's checking out some artist editions and daydreaming.
Oh yeah. I've gotten my collection of those has grown.
Well, okay. What artist editions do you have now?
The McFarlane Spider-Man.
Yes.
The Wintermen, the John Paul Leon Wintermen.
Yes.
And the Batman Kelly Jones.
Awesome.
Oh, and the Jim Lee X-Men.
Oh yeah. The Jim Lee X-Men.
I've
got that in the Thor, of course. I had. So yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's growing. I've got a few.
I only have one now. I have the Rocketeer by Dave Stevens.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened to your John Paul Leon?
Oh yeah, I have that too. I forgot.
You forgot he had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that McFarlane is a monster.
I know.
It is a lot bigger than the others.
Well, I think what I'm going to do for the new year is I'm going to hook up my my other camera that I have right here. That I used to use as a side camera. I'm going to use that. I'm going to push it on the table on my drafting table, and we'll actually start looking through.
I can show the McFarlane. I just got to hold the camera.
Yeah, do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll get it. Hold on.
Yeah. Andrew, in the meantime, how you, man? How's everything in comic world?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Every comic artist is now talking. All of a sudden, is talking about indie comics as a potential way to like make a living.
Yeah, heaven forbid. We've only been talking about it and recommending it for many years. So
yeah,
I think Ryan Otley is the most recent one to announce that he's going to do a creator-owned project with. Frickin' A. Love to see it.
Hey, Andrew and Todd, do you have an opinion on that latest Comics Beat article about comic book companies actually going bankrupt? Like what happened to Aftershock and what apparently even DC and Marvel are not paying their contractors on time. Well,
I tell you what, Aftershock may be the first to announce they're filing bankruptcy, but they won't be the last. But don't worry about it. The mainstream comic book industry is doing just fine. It's doing just fine. Yeah,
they have this thing, and they've had it forever, where they just for whatever reason will not tell you the truth, and so they really just don't. They just can't get over themselves. You know what I mean? So they really refuse to tell the truth about things, and so they really bankruptcies or things that aren't going well. Like everything's always going great,
Right.
you know, and it really messes people up. Oh, hold on, Avery's about to open that book. Before he does, Ray just says, quick comment question: does the Superman 2022 tribute comic saw 9.8 on eBay at 225, assuming it's a reprint, but is the value right? Andrew, that's right up your alley.
Oh, I seriously doubt that, but
You want to look it up for him?
is it actually graded at a 9.8,
Yeah, he says
or
it's
is they
he
just
says it's
listing as a 9.8?
Oh, say that again.
Is it graded at a 9.8, or is it just listed as a 9.8? Somebody can put it up and say, "Hey, this is a 9.8 edition of this comic," but it's not graded. They're just telling you it's what they think it's worth. Graded, okay.
All right. Oh, that looks good. That's some nice art there.
This book is awesome.
Hold on, let me put it full size.
Oh, yeah.
So Andrew, do you want to? Maybe we can look that up. Maybe Andrew.
Yeah, give me just a second. I'll look it up.
Yeah, we'll look it up for you. Hold on. Let me push Avery's. I'll solo way out. Look at that thing. So how this book is massive.
Yes, it is bigger because McFarlane drew the first issues of the self-titled Spider-Man book at a larger size, so the whole book has to accommodate that.
How do you know how big the book is? Is it like it's not 18 by 24, is it?
It's like 13 by 19 or something like that. It's pretty close to that.
Wow.
It's huge.
Now, is this the size that you're drawing your pages now?
I draw on 12 by 18.
Okay. Oh, dude, what?
It's a big bitch. Let me skip ahead. So.
Yeah, I will say, so I have this book too, and I'll say this, like, the early McFarlane stuff doesn't hit me as hard as his later stuff.
But this stuff is still good.
It's super good. It's all good. Yeah, he could draw. He was drawing Mary Jane. Like that doesn't even look McFarlane-y. It looks like a little John Byrne. That Mary Jane.
Yeah. Like these are still Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh yeah. That picture of Peter Parker down there, if you scroll down a little bit, I drew that face, that specific face, like 30 times. I was trying to crack how this guy drew, and I just couldn't do it.
Like, here's some of the Spider-Man pages. It's even bigger.
Massive.
How did he draw all that detail?
With a pen. Sorry.
What I know. What I meant was, as someone who knows, like, is like still very much a novice at this. I mean, how long would it take him just to get all that cross hatching done and all the detail?
Once you do it every day, all day, you get faster.
So one of the look at that scroll up on the camera. Let me see that face. So good, dude. Like the way that McFarlane would draw. There's a lot of guys that do pen and ink work. And this is actually why I started experimenting with the sketch that I'm doing with Rages. It's like the way that a lot of these guys do it is like there's two ways you can do the page 100% yourself. You can sketch really, 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 really light, like just kind of like, okay, really quick sketch. And then 99.9% of your time is pure ink. You're basically just drawing in ink. So McFarlane is an example of that. His pencils were really light and really weren't that detailed. And he would just spend all day like noodling. I mean, he literally called you just noodle. You just sit there and noodle away at it for the entire day until it's done. Right. And a lot of guys do that. The other way to do it is to actually do kind of a tighter drawing. And then when you get to the ink stage, you're kind of noodling again, but you're doing it almost lighter and you're not spending as much detail and time on it. Kind of like a Bill Sienkiewicz, kind of like the looser styles. Simon Bisley would be like that, right? Yeah. Like Simon Bisley, actually his underdrawings are fairly tight, and then he like loosens up as he draws. So it's really kind of interesting and fun to see like both of the styles like that. Rageous says, good question, Rageous. Do artists draw the characters and backgrounds or focus on character and let someone fill in the background?
It typically a penciler draws it all in pencil and an inker inks it. But sometimes a penciler just does rough layouts, and then the inker does what's, instead of inking, it's called finishing. Where they finish it.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different styles. So McFarlane was top to bottom. So he drew it, and most of the time he inked it. There are some examples, like when he was trying to use other inkers just to kind of. I think those are actual examples of pages. I think those are like Scott Williams inked some of his pages. I think stuff like that. But most of it was him.
These are with Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld, yeah, he had Rob ink some of his stuff. He had Williams ink some of his stuff. But most of the time he inked his own stuff. Then you have pencilers who pencil and inkers who ink over those pencils. And then you have someone like a Dave Sim who did a book called Cerebus for 30 years. And what Dave used to do is he would draw, he would focus on the characters, and he had a partner, a guy named Garib? No, geez. Andrew, Dave Sim's partner. God.
Wasn't it like Gerard or Gerard
thank
or something?
Thank you. Garib was stuck in my head, but it was Gerard. So Gerard would do these incredibly detailed backgrounds. And so they kind of split the art duty to get just these gorgeous, gorgeous pages, just crazy stuff.
You can take me off now.
Okay. Rageous says, here's a great question. Exit solo layout. So what does a penciling look like before inking?
Sometimes it's not much more than visual notes for what the inker's supposed to do. Sometimes it's completely rendered. All the blacks are filled in. Sometimes it's not. I mean,
Avery, do you have a pencil page by any chance?
Let me look and see what I can find.
I'll show you what mine. In fact, Rageous, since we're talking about this, I'll show you yours. Here, hold on. Let me just export this real quick.
It would help if I wasn't muted, but I have a penciled page that I'm working on. If you want to see one.
Yeah, let's do it.
This is now, of course, I can't show you the inked version because I haven't started on the inked version yet. But completely forget everything I just said because I just realized I left them in the store because I was going to work on them.
Cool. Awesome.
Shoot. What a dumbass.
So,
I thought they were right there. They weren't. It was something else that's sitting over here.
So this is mine, actually, for your sketch. So this is, you'll see it. So here it is, ready to go. The blue. So what this is, you can see it's like on the paper. You can see it says it says standard comic book interior page. Like it's ready to go. The guidelines are there for trimming. To make sure that the dimensions are right. And then the reason it's in like a light blue, and I actually darkened it up even just before I exported just a second ago. The reason it's light blue is because it's a color called non-photo repro blue. So non-repro blue, meaning there is a color blue that won't reproduce in the final art, in the final printed page. Like printers can't, for whatever reason, printers can't pick up this specific color blue. So there are pencils called non-repro blue pencils that you can draw with. And in Photoshop, you can actually take the hex color and color it that way. And that way, what I can do now, I would make this a little lighter. Like I said, I made it a little more opacity. I made it a little more solid so I could show it to you. But it's really light. And so when you print it, theoretically, when you print it out on Bristol paper, like this right here, right? When you print it out, you basically have your sketch done, and then I can go in and what I'll do is I'll just start inking. right? So this is a sketch and it's really cool, but obviously it's not really done. So I'm just going to go in and I would start like noodling away at it and just kind of drawing and really like going at it. And to me, this is actually a fairly, it's like loose but tight. And for what I'm experimenting with now, I think the final version will still be a little loose, although I won't really know until I just kind of go at it. But yeah, that's pretty much like, at least for me, that's for this version, that's what like the pencils look like. I have, if Avery, are you pulling up any pencils? Oh, Avery muted himself. But I think
I was getting up to get something.
Yeah, no worries. When Avery pulls up his pencils, I'll go get.
I got something better than showing my pencils.
Okay, let's do it.
Avery, this isn't that kind of show, man.
This is Jim Lee, Hush Unwrapped. This is printed. This is the comic book Batman Hush printed just from Jim Lee's pencils.
Yeah, so he's a very tight artist.
So you can see his pencils before it was inked and before it was colored. This is printed all from the pencils.
Yeah, and you can't really tell from just because of the camera, but the pencils are, well, yeah, there you can tell. It's like super detailed pencils. Yeah. Now, the reason that Jim Lee can get a really detailed pencil with this is because he doesn't ink at all.
Yeah.
Right. So he gets to spend all day just on penciling on the pencils. Right. And then he has
and like these pages were done with wash. He did them with wash and they were printed this way.
Yeah. He's got an inker named Scott Williams, who's like the best in the industry, who then spends all day inking.
There's
his stuff.
There's an inked page.
Yeah.
But this is what his pencils look like. This is what Scott Williams gets without the lettering, of course.
Yeah.
The ink.
Super good.
Yeah, I thought this would be a better choice than looking up something online.
No, but it's cool. I'm just kidding. Avery, your pencils are always awesome too.
My pencils are really vague.
Yeah, but I think that's why. Like, I think that's kind of like, it might be fun to show just like the different styles of pencil too.
Okay.
Because you're kind of on that classic tip where you do like your oh, he dropped. Avery's pencils are rough, and then when he draws in, it's still kind of rough, but it's like that's his tightening phase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like so it just depends. Like, everyone's different, but if Avery had an inker, his pencils would be super tight.
Yeah, I'd have to make them real tight. Let me see if I can find a pencil.
Yeah, and I'll see if I can find one too. Let's see. MK says,
I found I found one of yours that's in the process of being inked that I have.
Oh yeah? What page is that? Pull it up.
Let me share.
Now I'm curious. This must be old.
Yeah. I never finished inking it.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was in the process of ink, so you can see this. Like, Todd has these really tight pencils.
Yeah, that was super tight pencils
that I was inking. That's all brush.
That looks so good. You scroll over a little bit to the right so they can see kind of like the pencil side. Does like a comparison. Yeah, I was so fucking anal, man. Great inks though, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always have this feeling like I'm gonna be like, yeah, I want to do this really rough drawing, and I kind of want to make it like rough ink, and kind of sketchy, and then it's gonna just look like my normal stuff. What's gonna happen. I already kind of know it's gonna be like, it'll be like rough, and by rough it'll be like super anal.
Super anal.
Yeah. Yeah. MK says, even with digital, same process pretty much.
Yeah, yeah, because I ink traditional most stuff.
But then you kind of like, I think, and Avery, correct me if I'm wrong, because you actually do you. It's a little more multidisciplinary, right? Like you'll with digital in your process, like you kind of have the freedom to hit it however you want to hit it. Meaning,
Yeah.
it won't like normally on a comic page, like what Avery was showing you or whatever. Like, it's like panel to panel. Like here's the page. Here's the artwork, panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
But with digital, you can like just pull out a sheet of paper, whatever is near you, just to get it done, right? Like you it's not necessarily like you'll cut out something and paste it in Photoshop and kind of like,
yep,
it's a little more, and some of it might even be, some of the finishing work might be done in Photoshop, so it won't even be on an original page.
Yeah, like Zipatone and stuff. I'm trying to find something.
I've thought about getting into back end because I used to love doing Zipatone. So Zipatone is
shading film.
Context. Yeah, it's a shading film. Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's like if you ever remember Sunday Comics or just looking at a newspaper, it used to have like Ben-Day dots. Like the color that was actually made in it was actually a combination of multicolored dots laying on top of each other. And the size and distance of the dots combined with the color gives you a photograph, right? And so what Zipatone was just a sticker, a film, and all it was black dots. But any kind of pattern you could think of, everything from dots that look like clouds to anything. And so, in fact, I'll show you what it looks like. Every single manga on Earth uses like every single manga on Earth uses this film. So you see all that gray. You see how it's like there's gray in the back. There's gray like right here. You see how it has a kind of like a fade, right? That's what we're talking about. Right? That's Zipatone, or the Japanese equivalent. They call it other things. But and there's like any number of styles. There's just everything you could think of. So but what's really cool about it is that it really adds a really great texture to the black and white ink. So yeah, I've thought about getting back into. I've actually thought. I mean, it's super expensive now, but I've thought about like maybe investing in some of it back. Ooh, what's this, nigga?
Yeah, this is my pencils for the devoid cover.
There you go.
I darkened it up, of course, because the actual, so you could see it.
Yeah.
But this is what I printed out, but I printed it out much lighter and then inked it for one of the devoid covers.
God, man, you're so, this is where I get jealous because I can't do this. Like my pencils, I would be freaked the fuck out if my pencils look like this and I just had to start inking stuff. Like I have to. I mean, you see the difference. Like I showed you how detailed my pencils are, and I consider that really rough. And then like Avery stuff is like, it's more, in my opinion, it's more advanced because I think this is much harder to like start with a rougher sketch and just go in and like.
I just have to make sure something important, like the face is tight. Like faces are tight and everything else is like all energy.
Yeah.
That way it keeps me from getting too stiff.
Yeah. And that's the important thing, right? That's also why I'm trying to loosen up on my inks, because it's not it's a speed thing, but it's also not, but that's not the main purpose of it. When you're able to bring in some looseness to the final image, there's an energy that's captured and a speed, like there's a lifeline that's captured that's not captured when you sit there and render every single like thing. You know what I mean?
That's why I try to do it that way. I try to make a focus point, what you're supposed to pay attention to, tight, and then everything else I just let it fall apart.
Yeah.
I just suggest it and let it fall apart. And sometimes it really works. Sometimes I fuck up. But mostly that's what I'm trying to do is be like, this is the important part of the image you need to see. This is the information you need. Everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And try to make that work as a composition.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really, that's also, it's the same thing. Like it's kind of bringing it back. And it's the stuff that I miss. Like that's kind of like one of those comic book techniques that I've missed for years in animation, because you can't hide anything in animation. Like nothing, right? Like you have to do everything.
Yeah.
So because everything is color, right? There's no, I mean, unless the style calls for solid black
Yeah.
silhouette.
What you can do in animation, if you establish the style, is reduce things to color shapes, the same way things become color shapes at a distance with your vision.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that.
Yeah, like background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh man, it's so good. It's a lot of fun. I'm really excited, like to see what we come up with all this stuff. Like,
I think it's going to be fun.
Dude, it's gonna be great. I'm so excited for it. It's like, I mean, what do you think, Dusty?
I think Origin comic #1 was freaking fantastic, and we're gonna come up with some really awesome stuff together next year.
I really want to do more. More Devoid. I want to get my hands on some of these other characters, like that Heinous. I need to color that Heinous and put up there. And there's other characters people have suggested I take a crack at, and they're on the list.
Dude, do you have that Heinous illustration handy?
Let me see if I can find it.
Is that digital or is that on paper?
I penciled it digitally, printed it, and inked it.
Oh hell yeah! Let's see it. I want to see this live. So good. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Share.
Let's see.
Sure.
For once, Andrew's actually awfully quiet.
Why isn't Photoshop showing up in my share? What the? Let me try it again.
Andrew, do you have any pages off the? You have. Let's see some of your pages, buddy.
Why is it not?
Look at him. He's not even paying attention.
Okay, it's not there for some reason. It won't let me.
Do you want to see something that Avery and I collaborated on?
Of course.
It should be there in my windows. Why is it not there? You know what? I'm going to close Photoshop and reopen it.
Yeah. You can always take a screenshot.
That's weird. It just wasn't there. And
I feel like we're like the links you sent me, Avery, with all the printers. It's like printer porn. It's like,
I'm very happy with that printer.
13 by 19.
Yeah, that's the paper it can feed through, but you can't scan that back. You got to keep your image within 11 by 17.
Yeah. Galaxy Rider says Adobe being Adobe. What is that?
Oh God, that's the goat man I sent him. The goat I sent in 2 layers.
Just wait. Here we go.
We're not seeing anything, Andrew.
Yeah, it's not showing.
Yeah, it's not showing.
Adobe product. No.
Adobe product.
All right, hold on. Why
is it not?
All right, never mind.
Never mind.
I don't. For some reason, it's. I want to.
Okay, now it's showing up.
Oh, there we go.
This is where I've started coloring it. Let me turn off the color.
Oh, so dope.
So yeah, the pencils were done in Photoshop, and then I printed it blue line, inked it, and scanned it in to color.
So fucking sick, dude. Yeah, fucking hell, man.
Who is he supposed to be fighting?
What's that, Zach?
Who is he supposed to be fighting?
Just generic fake Skeletor
Mm,
with horns.
generic fake Skeletor.
Yeah. Horny Skull. We could call him Horny Skull.
One skull.
You know, that would be a good name for a hero. Generic. You know, but with a K. Generic. That would be like the ultimate 90s hero, because they always misspell them back in the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Like GER, no, GY, no, that'd be a bet. That would be the wrong impression.
Guy, no.
Generic, no, generic.
Oh, there it goes. MK says Gen Eric.
That perfect. Yeah,
General Eric.
Gen Eric. You know, he'd be like Gen 13's more you know, Gen 13's like sensible brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, write that one down, Todd. Write that one down.
Yeah. That could be but that guy I drew, I was like, who could be the main supervillain in a universe that heinous comes from before he ends up in ours? In the adult fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like he would be from that era.
No, he wouldn't.
He would be from someplace else. So he's from some parody world of He-Man. So let me do something that's a little bit of a parody of Skeletor.
All right. How about this? Here's an idea. You know, instead of like him being like a parody, Skeletor wants to take over the world. We could say like, you could say that he's like Skeletor, but he just wants to have a small business, and he's constantly dealing with this buffoonish wannabe hero who keeps you know, blowing up his buildings.
Yeah, he thinks he's a bad guy because of how he looks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But it turns out he's like basically like a chicken farmer or something like that.
He's just trying to raise like free range chickens.
Yeah. Or you know,
Oh
like
my
you know,
God.
or like you know, he's like a like an older fantasy hipster, retired from the city, out in the countryside.
Yeah, he's
Right.
just trying to grow medical marijuana
Yeah.
and free range chickens.
And then so
He's just trying to open a dispensary.
yeah.
Oh my God. So Andrew, how are you?
Good.
What are you doing? You're like very distracted. You're doing other things.
Yeah. Hold on.
I wanted to see the weird goat man, Andrew. What
Yeah.
happened?
What the hell?
I exported it so I could put it in a Chrome tab. So let me try again. Because
Yeah,
when
I
in iMovie, when I blew it up so you could see the whole thing, it stopped letting
Yeah.
you see it. So I'm gonna stick
Andrew
it.
always calls these people evil, so I tried to put them in hell. Like
What is this about?
I did one that I don't think Andrew liked as much, but he's basically a thumb like Stimpy, but he's a demon.
All right, so watch this. It's
No,
only 17
You
seconds.
set it to the sounds on.
Yeah, I threw some music behind it, but if you don't hear it, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just music that's playing, but just watch it. It's some really basic animation.
So are these the scammers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I put it to where he could crop it if he wanted to crop it, so it's split screen between a version of him and them.
Dude, these thumbnails are gonna get you like crazy views, dude.
Oh, let me find the other one. The one I texted you guys.
And what we're going to do is I'm going to do another video of me talking,
Mhm.
pretending to be the scammer talking. And then I'm going to zoom in on my mouth and put my mouth on top of it. So it'll have so that image of the goat will have a mouth talking while the guy
Well,
talks.
wait. Will I have a mustache?
Yeah, of course. It'll have to because I'm not shaving this off anytime soon.
Oh, I don't have.
But
the
I want to go get some fake teeth. You know, like some like bucktooth teeth, and wear those. And
I love where this is going. I absolutely love this.
Oh, I don't have the GIF on my computer. I made the. Oh, that's right. I uploaded a bunch of JPEGs of me that I switched the mouths, and I made the GIF on my phone.
Oh,
But I can open up one of these and show it.
well, Andrew, how was last week's comic hall stuff?
good. Still going through a lot of it.
Well, don't hold back your excitement, Andrew. I'm just saying. That's pretty awesome. That's really funny.
I animated the mouth on the GIF. Maybe I can
That's
post it
hilarious.
in Discord later.
Yeah. That's really
I like the background, but you didn't send me a separate background.
Yeah. I accidentally flattened this one and saved it flattened.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah. We can just cut him out,
Yeah.
and I can send you the background separate.
Okay.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Because I'm just like, yeah, let's put these guys in hell. And I was like, one of them has to look very Ren and Stimpy. So I was just...
So are you gonna do edits like as you talk when they start talking, you just cut to them talking?
Yeah, do a split screen thing. Well, normally it's me just talking, and you hear their audio
Yeah.
at the same time. Well, now what I'm going to do is do a split screen when they pick up and start talking, and have it show that.
Yeah,
And
like
we
each
may-
one has a different character. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we may do some different things. So we'll
yeah,
see.
he may even do the old thing, like the old cartoons where he just films his mouth and superimposes it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like the shittier the animation, the better.
I love it.
It's gonna be really funny.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, send me some pictures of you, Andrew, and I'll like do some weird stuff to them and make them look really. And you can do characters. We could do like a drawing, a version of you that's an old man that's Herschel or whoever, you know.
Oh, but I don't do voices and
You don't have to do voices. They just
that well.
your fans will know. Oh, this is Herschel. Oh, this is whoever. Just by the way you change the picture.
Hold on a second.
Andrew's boring tonight. God.
Yeah, those
Right
backgrounds.
back. I got to go save my wife.
Okay, those backgrounds.
Save your wife?
Those backgrounds I did in AI.
I think that's what he's calling the break room now.
Oh, I gotta go save the wife.
Oh.
Touche. That's very good, sir. Very well played. Very good. Just save the wife.
All right, gentlemen, I am getting flagged for family dinner. About 2 times a year, I have to do a family dinner. So
Okay.
it's one of those. So yes.
Dusty, awesome, man. Thank
No
you
problem.
for coming out, dude. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. That goes to all of you guys and to all of our AFM, MK Chronos, Rageous, Galaxy Rider, and whomever else is here tonight. Love you all.
Absolutely.
KG.
MK says he's heading out for the night too. Everyone have a great Christmas. MK says night, Dusty. Galaxy sayone's bye, Dusty. Everyone's saying goodbye.
Wait. Why are we saying goodbye to Dusty? What do you mean Dusty's leaving?
Dusty has to leave. Family
Dusty, he's been
obligation.
getting. He got flagged for dinner because he's in Cali.
Good riddance.
Yeah, he got flagged for dinner.
No, Dusty's
Dusty's
great.
good. Yeah,
He's my favorite. I've told him that before.
he is. He's a true gem of a guy. He has to be to hang out with us. Jeez. Everyone in chat too. He get points. He score points for hanging out with him.
Can I ask you guys honest opinion of something?
Sure.
What's that, man?
I'm opening up Disney Plus, and I just got a message saying that my the weekly prices, the monthly price is going up to like $15 a month as of this month. Is it even worth keeping this damn app at this point?
I don't have it.
I mean, I'm forced to have it because I have 2 small kids.
Oh yeah, you have to have it.
Yeah, and one of whom is addicted to Frozen. So
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have a choice.
Andrew's one of your kids? He knows all the words to the songs.
I mean, I heard Andor was good. I mean, the problem with Disney Plus and all that stuff is like, and Hulu is like, for every 10 shows that suck, there'll be one that's actually really good.
Yeah, but I have Hulu to watch certain anime shows.
Yeah,
and I have Prime because it pays for itself with shipping. It's basically free.
Yeah, we have Prime.
Anything else, I just pirate. I have an app on my Xbox and an app on my tablet that just has like almost everything that comes out.
Well, that's the thing, though, is I'm still trying to wrap my head around what they did. Why they had to use a technical term, fuck up Willow. I mean, it's first off, why would you make a sequel to Willow anyway? It's like a tertiary property that nobody under the age of 45 remembers.
Yeah,
and you basically took into like a CW show with some odd choices in casting.
Because the wrong people were enjoying it and remembering it fondly. Therefore, it must be destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, if teen lesbian romance is your thing, more power to you. But my thing,
They just want to break your shit. They want to break your toys. That's all it is.
Well, at least they have a lot of the old X-Men cartoons on there, Wolverine, X-Men, and so on.
I heard it really summed up in a way that I hadn't thought about it before today, and I thought it was really smart. I was watching a YouTuber, and they said that one of the problems with modern movies and like even comics, like, is that the people who are doing them right now, he said it's basically fanfic.
Yeah.
Where the people who are writing it don't really know or care anything about that. I mean, it's the stuff we talk about, right? Like, they don't really know or care much about the characters, the backstories. It's not like they're doing research on the characters. What they're doing is they're going to Wikipedia to shortcut it. And what happens is, like, they don't really understand the characters or understand the fans of the characters. And so what they're writing is like a fanfic version of it.
See, that's what happened with Wheel of Time, which, if you're a fantasy fan like me, was like the fantasy series of the 90s and the 80s. Mm-hmm. I mean, basically, like Robert Jordan, he was kind of like he was a contemporary of George R. R. Martin. They were actually friends. But the Amazon series they made about it is like, this isn't the Wheel of Time. This is like someone's weird fanfic version of it. Mm-hmm. And then like Rings of Power, which, look, I didn't hate that. I mean, honestly, I thought I'd hate it. It's not great. I mean, I watched bits and pieces of it. I mean, I skipped the Hobbit part basically because it's like there's only so much like twee Irish stereotypes I could take.
Yeah.
Actually, people in Ireland are actually upset about that because they're saying you're making us look bad. But but again, it just feels like, this isn't the Lord of the Rings. This feels like someone's teenage fanfic of it that they wrote back when they were 16.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, Drew, your cat appears to be very itchy right now. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling though that the coming year is going to be might be something of a reckoning for a lot of these companies because the age of cheap money is gone. All the COVID funds have all been spent.
Yeah.
Next year they got to start paying their keep. And I have a feeling that, and for we saw like with a lot of comic book companies, that's also going to happen to a lot of media companies in general. They're not going to. I mean, how are they supposed to pay the bills with stuff that nobody wants to watch or pay for?
Yeah. No, this is actually a good good point.
Which is good for us because it's kind of an opening for people like us who small but nimble.
It's true. And this is why we have the opportunity to do things we can do, right? Like, there's no one holding anybody back. Like, anybody can pretty much create whatever they want to create now.
Yeah, so I mean, every time I go on Indiegogo, there's another comic books project listed. Yeah.
Andrew, you want to share some comics? I'm dying to look at some comics.
Sorry, didn't mean to segue into a political rant.
No, you're good. There's no political rant. You're fine.
You're talking about quality.
Yeah, quality is quality.
All right, tell you what, I'll take off my MAGA cap and stow it in the corner.
God.
No, just kidding. I've never, I actually live in like one of the redder parts of Florida. I've never once seen anybody wearing a MAGA hat. I'm actually kind of disappointed. Actually, I figured I'd see at least one dude wearing it.
Anyway,
Like I said,
Anyway.
sorry, didn't mean to segue.
that time you segued. What,
No, I'm not-
Andrew?
I'm
Share your
not- I'm
damn
not-
screen. Save
I'm
us.
not being political. I'm just expressing my disappointment.
No, you're good. I'm just messing with you, bro. What?
Well, I'm a huge fan of Biden, so I think you all should vote.
Ah,
No, why can't you're just trying to get me to kick you?
Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah.
So I was just looking at some of these comics that I got. I got some really nice older comics.
Nice.
Star Wars number 11
oh,
from
Nice.
the original Marvel run.
oh,
Nice.
nice.
Star Wars number 18 from the original Marvel run.
Oh, that's cool.
And Star Wars number 23 from the original Marvel run.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Well, 23. I know the first issue or two of Star Wars came out before the movie, and so that's why they didn't know what Darth Vader looked like. So they kind of like had blurry pictures from the set, so they had to make it up.
Plus they did his eyes glowing red. His eyes never were red; they were black.
Yeah,
So
yeah, awesome.
got some Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos, number 114. This is
Yeah, that's an awesome cover.
20
So
cent
good.
era.
Yeah.
Another 115 where they're fighting
Oh,
bad
look at that.
people.
Look at that, dude.
really, really bad people.
Nazis?
Here, hold on for a second. Show that back up. I'm gonna put you on
Yeah.
solo so we can see it.
Yeah, exactly. Because some of those covers are phenomenal.
Oh, so cool. What a
That
good
is a good
composition.
cover. Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
And this is issue number 122.
Mm.
The Blitz Squad strikes.
Is that Baron Strucker, the ball guy?
Might be.
Oh.
And this is issue number 123.
Those covers are great.
They're really good.
And then some DC. Aquaman number 62.
It's a decent cover.
And then something that none of us ever collected. The Rawhide Kid.
Oh, look at that though.
But the cover's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
Who did that? That's not a Kirby?
Nope.
Is it
not
Joe
Kirby.
Kubert?
Hold a second. I'd probably not. Yeah, it's actually very Kirby-ish. Dick Ayers.
Ah.
no.
That's issue number 82. That's actually in really good condition. And
Yeah.
then issue number 86, which is nice.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, this one is like in near mint condition. It's a $30 book.
The way that guy's like gripping his chest and falling over.
Yep.
So good, dude.
And then, of course, I ran out of views on Comic Price Guide. So let me see. Anything else in here worth showing?
Yeah, getting good stuff.
No, that was it. The
That
rest
was all
of
the
it.
good stuff?
Yeah, well,
That's right.
no, I have other stuff, but some of the stuff is like really old and beaten up and may not be worth
Well,
putting out.
Andrew,
Yeah, but if it's good, but is it good?
Let's see. We've
like it.
got Dial H for Hero, The House of Mystery, issue number 159 from DC Comics. It's got a nice cover.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We got Sergeant Rock from DC. This one's a really beat up one, but it's got a nice cover too.
Oh yeah. Oh,
15-cent era.
that looks cool.
This one, it's got a $10 price tag on it, but I think it's probably worth more than that. Hold on a second. Let me take the price tag off because it's not my price tag, it's somebody else's. It's the Atom, issue number 30 from the 12-cent era.
All right.
Just a nice one with him fighting some bats, some men riding on bats. Dazzled by the fact.
Ray just says the cat's knocking shit off your desk.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
That's what cats do.
This is, who is the publisher here? It's not DC. It's somebody else. I can't tell. But America's greatest war comic, The Fighting Air Force American Eagle.
Oh, yeah, the cat's into something because he dips his paw in it and pulls it out and licks it.
That's cool.
Is
The
that your
cover's
coffee?
awesome.
Is that your coffee, dude?
It's a cup of water. Fighting American.
That's a Kirby, isn't it? Fighting American was a Kirby thing.
I don't think it's Kirby.
Oh, Fighting Army.
Fighting Army, yeah.
Jeez. Does that look like the word American to you?
It's a great cover.
Here's Supertastic Person.
Supertastic Man.
Supertastic Person, number 203.
Captain Ketoacidosis.
So funny.
Here's some good ones. This is Flash, number 223.
Oh, yeah. I've seen
That's cool.
that.
Here's another good one. This is Flash, number 236.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a nice one.
That is awesome.
Our Fighting Forces. Check out the logo treatment up at the top for this one. This is a Joe Kubert cover featuring the Losers. This is issue number 138 of Our Fighting Force.
Oh, that's really cool at the top. Yeah.
DC, first in comics, best in comics, 20-cent era.
It's bigger than the actual logo of the book.
Yeah.
That's a cool cover though, with the ship or the sub coming up there, and the
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a ship. Our luck's finally changed. And it says the
sub's
Losers on their thing. Yeah.
yeah.
And this one is All New Fighting Marines from Charlton Comics, number 125. This one's like really beat to shit.
That cover's
It's got a really pretty cover.
That's wicked.
And then this one is Fighting American from Modern Comics, number 103. And this one would be banned on YouTube since
It's not Fighting American. Oh my god, dude.
Fighting Army.
Jeez.
And that's it. That's all you
Fighting
get.
American.
Well, I assume they're Americans, you know?
Fighting Army. Fighting American is like that Captain America wannabe thing.
Yeah, and it was a Kirby thing.
Yeah.
You keep saying that, I'm like expecting to see Kirby, and then I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
Why am I still highlighted here?
Because you're so
Todd,
pretty.
Don't you
Because you're
control this
gorgeous.
thing?
I'm staring at you because I love you.
I did my video this morning, and I did it in my
Called 911. He's having a stroke.
He's having another stroke.
I did it in wearing my Victory Friday Trevor Lawrence headband.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good.
Oh my god.
I look good in it.
Avery,
What?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Yes, Andrew looks good in his Trevor Lawrence headband.
I do not need to know this. What?
He sure does got a pretty mouth.
Oh no. No.
Every time we
What?
play Deliverance, it's his turn to be Ned Beatty.
No. What? Gross.
Is that the one where I squeal like a pig, or is that
Yes.
something else? Okay.
Yes.
I can't even do a pig sound. I'm so sorry.
And then they got John Voight strapped to the tree, and they're like, "You sure do got a pretty mouth."
I give up. I've lost all.
Add that to the movie list for movie night. Deliverance.
Deliverance.
Aren't
Deliverance is
like
awesome.
the most famous scenes from that movie like a minute and a half long? And
Yeah,
that's it.
it's real short. It's a good
I mean,
movie though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scene with Ned Beatty and John Voight when they get accosted by those hillbillies is pretty though. It's pretty. At the time, it was very unsettling.
Anyway, Avery,
Yes.
that's not a just a quick question for you because you got me into this. I'm looking at the printer and all that kind of stuff. What kind of paper do you use, man? You mentioned it. You rolled it off the top of your tongue, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just."
Canson watercolor paper, 110 pound.
Let's see.
12 by 18. Let me see if I can find a pad of it. Just
Oh,
to
12 by 18.
Yes.
You don't do the 13 by 19.
No, I do 12 by 18.
Yes. What is it? It's Canson?
Canson watercolor paper. Let me find a tab of it.
Yeah, because I actually want to talk to you guys. This is actually really, it's a tool thing, but it's something I'm really curious about.
Did you know that Hobby Lobby no longer carries Canson or the other one? They only carry their brand of paper.
Really?
Yep. I went there the other day, and the whole aisle is just nothing but their store brand.
Mm-hmm.
No Canson, no what's the other one that we use?
Yeah, okay. I was wrong. I misspoke. It's Canson watercolor paper, 140 pound.
Oh, is this the light blue cover XL?
Yes. Cold press watercolor paper. It's got a pretty good. I like the tooth. I like a heavy tooth on the paper because I had that rough style and I like it.
It's that was my question. Was it going to be cold press versus hot press?
Yeah, it's cold press. It's got a nice tooth. You can ink smooth on it though. You can.
It's got a nice tooth and he can dance to it.
Well, what do you? Yeah, so what you prefer a cold press?
Yes.
See, I wonder if it doesn't tell me
because some of the other papers get waxy.
Yeah, see, that's my problem with hot press. I love hot press. I actually like vellums. I like a smooth.
But it gets waxy sometimes.
Some of it gets waxy. Yeah.
Like I've got a whole massive stack of Bristol I can't use because it's waxy. I've got like 4 or 5 pads of it. It's
why did it get Andrew dropped? Why did it get waxy?
I don't know, dude. But what's that other brand everybody uses?
Strathmore?
Strathmore. It's a whole bunch of 11 by 17 Strathmore Bristol, and it's all waxy. Ink won't adhere to it properly.
That's so weird.
Dude, I even saw Greg Capullo talking about it. It's a total mess. So I switched to this because I like the tooth better anyway.
Okay.
And you can get tight inks on it if you just learn to deal with it. You can do it.
Because I want to I'd love to draw a little bit bigger too. Like I kind of like the idea of doing like a.
Look for their Bristol. Look for the Canson Bristol instead of Strathmore. But yeah, when I buy it 2 or 3 pads at a time on
the watercolor paper.
Yeah, that's what I buy is the
you've always liked that watercolor paper.
I love it because I also do a lot of washes sometimes and heavy ink.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to decide, like, if I go for a looser style, then I might want to do like drips and like, you know,
the 140 pound paper is great. 140 pound watercolor paper. You can do whatever you want. You can paint with acrylic if you want to.
Man, that could be really cool.
I like it. And that printer feeds it. If you use the back.
Interesting.
I recommend it.
Yeah, because that would be the next thing I'm either using. Because I really I've got the old school comic book Bristol paper, but I don't want to use it. Like I want to make my own shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You can make your own in Photoshop and then print it along with it, so every sheet will have it on there. Print it on there yourself with that printer.
Yeah, man.
Just do your layouts on it and print it.
How do you have a sample? Do you have a pull up a page? Pull up a blank watercolor sheet. Let's see it. I'm just curious.
This pad that I found is actually empty.
Of course.
Let me see if I can find one.
Have you guys seen the trailer for that 90s show?
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. How's it look?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
It's the same, isn't it the same people?
Most of them are there, yeah, but it focuses in on like their kids. Like the main girl in the story is what's his name? And Donna's daughter.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Now is it played by different, the parents are played by different people.
No, still the same people.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yep.
Has it been that long? I guess so. Let's see. Avery got me all into looking at papers.
Okay. Where's my camera?
Let's see. I'm okay.
Focus. Why won't it focus?
Maybe you have to pull back a little bit.
Focus.
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
Okay, let me turn it off and turn it back on.
There it goes. There it goes.
Okay. You can't really see the tooth on this camera.
Yeah. It looks really smooth from here.
Yeah, it's not super rough. It's not that stuff, that's kind of, it's almost hairy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not the rag. It's not the rag.
Yeah. But it does have a tooth, and it's nice, but you can get smooth inks. Let me see if you can see this through there's the cyber frog I did.
Wow.
And this is in a top loader.
Yeah.
And it's on this paper.
That's pretty tight, man.
Yeah.
It looks pretty solid.
Yeah, and most of this is Copic pens and brush. I like the Copic pens. They're my favorite.
Yeah. Do you use microns at all?
I don't like Micron's ink. I prefer Copic. I have used them. I do have them, but I prefer Copics.
I mean, it looks pretty detailed. I'm just wondering, like, you know how it is. Like, the last thing you want to do is buy a sheet of paper and then like you don't use it. You open it up and like, man, this sucks, and you just never use it.
Yes. I have like a stack of Strathmore. I can't use it. It's shit.
Yeah.
It's literally at least 4 or 5 full tablets.
God.
And it's utter trash. I'm happy with this stuff, man.
It looks like you're pulling good lines with it, man. Like
I'm
trying to see, like, you know how some watercolor paper is so bumpy that it's impossible.
Yeah, this it's not impossible. It's not. It is a little rough, but it's not impossible. But I like rough. I'm not looking for super slick.
Yeah.
But they have Bristol too.
Yeah, well, I can't find it on Amazon.
You just find the watercolor paper.
Yeah, I've got the watercolor paper pulled up. I can't find the Bristol paper, though. Like 12 by 18 Bristol. I'm used to Bristols, but I could try. I could expand out.
Buy a pad and try it. If you don't like it, send it to me.
Fair enough. Oh, here's some. Wait, what is this? Just a couple.
You can take me off of the main screen.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right.
Andrew, what kind of paper you use?
Canson, or whatever I have around me. I think the watercolor paper I have is Strathmore, but I barely use it for anything.
Yeah, I stopped buying Strathmore because everything I bought, I bought a bunch of it. It's garbage. Rolling papers.
Rolling papers.
Ray just said rolling papers.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think I may try thicker paper, man. I like the idea that it's like, I would love to find a paper where you could just like use it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you want to do an ink drawing or a comic page? Cool. You want to paint that page or paint a cover? Use it, you know?
Oh, I wish I had a printer where that I could use illustration board through the printer.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I love drawing and painting on illustration board.
Yeah, I learned. Well, I told you that the thing that I learned from Stelfreeze that like changed my life was he takes illustration board, like let's say a hot press illustration board or something, and then you spray mount it to oh my god, brain.
Masonite.
Masonite, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I started doing that too for a while.
Yeah, you mount it to Masonite, so you just have this fucking stone block. You know what I mean? It's just, you can't beat it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So you don't think your printer would feed in illustration board?
No, that stuff's too heavy. That stuff's a 1/4 inch thick on some of it, you know?
You just haven't tried hard enough.
Yeah, it won't feed that. But this
although I guess you could probably, honestly, you could print it on, you could do your 12 by 18 Canson and spray mount that to Masonite.
You know what? I've done heavy washes on this Canson, which was I tend to use watercolor anyway when I paint these days. And it holds up just fine.
Yeah.
I've got paintings on this type of stuff and it's fine.
Does it roll? Does it wave?
A little, but it's not that bad. I don't think it's that bad.
And again, that would actually you could actually fix that with Masonite. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: would it hold? And this is probably a problem with a toothy paper. Would it hold something like a Zipatone?
That I don't know. It might. I've never tried it. I have some. Is
the paper bulky enough to like? Bumpy enough to.
I think it would hold it. I really do.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to really look at this.
Yeah, I have some actual screen film somewhere I bought years ago, and what I did is I scanned it and I use it. I never actually used the actual stuff. Happy holidays, KG. Thanks for stopping by.
Bye, KG. Take care, brother. Happy holidays. God, I can't believe it's the end of the year, dude.
Yeah. Oh, next year's going to be so good. Some of the stuff that's coming.
I love it.
I'm excited.
I'm so excited. Yeah, we gotta schedule a meetup so we can talk about the stuff.
Oh yeah.
We'll do maybe next week. If you guys are around.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing for New Year's?
I'll just be here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Awesome.
I'm going to a party.
You're going to a party?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I was invited.
Was it a work party?
No, it's A family party.
Then your family invited you to something?
Yes. I'm an important piece of the party.
Important piece of what, Andrew? Help me out.
It's going to be like a casino night, and I'm the poker dealer.
That's cool.
Yep.
We're also like the responsible one. What is the size A3? I never understood. Like, I know it's a different. Do you know offhand like A3?
I know it's a paper size. I don't know enough about it to be able to tell you for sure.
Right. A3, A4. I don't fucking know the sizes. Dimensions of A3 paper. This is what we're doing. We're just talking about paper sizes. They're like, what the fuck these guys are talking about?
I couldn't find a painting on that Canson paper, but I found one of my paintings that's on the Strathmore Bristol before it went to shit, and it handled it. There's some wavies, but it doesn't reproduce. I can show. Let me. And this is on Bristol, which is lighter and thinner.
Oh, wait, hold on. That's dope, dude.
Yeah, this is on Bristol, and this is watercolor and some acrylic and paint pens and markers.
Wow.
Yeah, and I did this in 2012.
Jeez.
I mean, it's been sitting in a portfolio, but still, the waving's not that bad. It
Oh
doesn't.
yeah, that's the Bristol paper.
Yeah, and this is Bristol, and this Canson's even heavier.
Nice, I gotcha.
So this stuff's maybe 100, 110 pound,
and
the Canson's 140. It's much thicker. So, I mean, this is ink on top, watercolors on top of ink, and gouache and pen and stuff, and it's fine.
Awesome. So A3 is about 11.7 by 16.5.
Yeah. Yeah, this is 11 by 17. So so even on the Canson, you could paint. You don't need to put it on a backing.
Awesome.
Talking artsy nerd shit.
I do. I love it.
Yeah, you can take me off.
No.
Okay. Hi guys, just look at my icon.
All right. Hold on. All right. Maybe we should go ahead and let this go. We'll continue talking in the green room here.
Yeah, because
we're just shooting this shit now anyway.
We're just gonna be nerding out on paper.
I know, it's the most boring show ever, but it's okay. It's the end of the year.
Well, to artists, it's like, oh yeah, what paper? What paper do you use? Oh yeah, like.
Is anybody still watching?
Yeah, we got a couple of people.
Okay.
Like we will talk about paper and pen nibs.
Well, it's important stuff. It changes the way you draw.
It does change the way you draw. The way I draw, if I'm actually using a quill, changes the way I draw a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, how is that possible? I don't have $27,000 in my account.
Andrew, we can hear your shit. Galaxy Rider says paper's cool.
Yeah. I liked that Strathmore Bristol for a long time. I would paint on it. I didn't care. I was like, I'm going to put it in the scanner and mash it flat anyway.
There's something called Canson Infinity Arches.
Huh. I don't know what that is.
It's a soft textured, pure white matte. It says inkjet paper.
Huh.
But it's 310 gram, which is like thick as hell. 13 by 19.
Oh, wow.
100% cotton.
So you might be able to ink and paint on that. I've got a painting I did on some kind of matte photo paper.
What's that?
I've got a painting I did on matte photo paper. It's that thin, like vellum matte type printer paper, and I did a painting on it. It's wavy and buckly, but you can't tell once I scanned it.
Well, let's get nerdy. Hold on. Let me let's see. Let's see if there's a video on this. See, this is 19. This is ribs, white, soft textured. They're printing photographs.
Yeah.
It was great, but that's not.
I know Canson makes Bristol.
Right? One would think.
I know they do. I've bought it before. Yeah.
Okay.
Canson Bristol on Amazon.
Is it 13 by 19 though?
I don't know. I would just get 11 by 17 or illustration Bristol A4. Okay. I would just get 11 by 17 or 12 by 18. XL Bristol, yeah. Bristol XL. I know they have it. Okay. You can order it from Michael's. It's got a it looks like what I just showed you, but green.
Hold on.
14 by 17. Oh, that's too big.
$12 by 18. Canson 12 by Bristol. Oh, the XL thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. 11 by 14, 19 by 24, 14 by 17, 11 by 17.
11 by 14. Why do they have these weird sizes for
Right?
the Bristol?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I understand 9 by 12. It's the same aspect ratio.
yeah. Like 11 by 12, 12 by 18 makes sense.
Yeah, just get the 12 by 18 if they have it.
Well, they don't. I'd have to get the 11 by 17.
Okay.
But let's see if I find the Canson. Let's look at you want to look at a Canson Bristol demo?
Sure.
Let's see.
I've used their Bristol before.
Let's see. Oh, this guy's going through all of his drawing paper stuff. Oh, let's do it. Here we go. All right, give me 1 second. Let's try this guy. All right, let's EFAP it. I think Galaxy Rider is watching us. That's cool. Let's see. Andrew's not even paying attention. He doesn't even care.
Yeah, I'll just keep using the watercolor paper because that's what I like. I like the tooth of it. I wish it'd be such a pain in the ass just to mail you a couple of sheets for you to try it. Like it's like not worth the postage, you know?
Yeah. There you go. Let's try it. Let's see what it says.
Hey fellow artists out there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Siddhant and today I'll be covering the topic of which paper I use for coloring and graphite purposes. So if you are new on my channel, then please hit the subscribe button so that you'll get notified for every video I post. And
Okay, maybe not. Let's try. Okay, let's just try this.
Hey guys, so today I am doing my an art studio close to my house, and I wanted to go ahead and try it out.
It's 82 pound.
Yeah, I've heard some.
Wonder if what is it? 82 pound.
That's thin.
That's thin.
It's not it's not super.
But that's a
thin.
different one. The 100 pound. The 11 by 17 is 100 pound.
Yeah, typically
82 pound. I can't deal.
No, it's too thin.
I see the small one's 82 pound. But you see, like you in there, like that's what is that? That's the 11 by 7, 11 and a half by 16. That's the 82 pound. You see how it's already wavy?
Yeah.
Like even in the photo, it's kind of wavy right there.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. Try the watercolor paper, man.
Hold on. All right, let's just like. Yeah, it looks okay. I mean the bigger paper is 100 pound, so that's going to be a better thickness. I'm gonna look up the Canson watercolor texture paper. See what they show. A mixed media versus watercolor. That's pretty cool. Let's just try this one.
Hey everyone, in today's review, we are going to check out the Canson XL watercolor pad. Canson is a company with a very long history. They started making paper texture. So
there we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Even though the Canson paper is labeled as having cold press texture, this is more of fine grain rather than cold press. On the right side, this is the Daler Rowney Aquafine watercolor paper. This is cold press texture. So from what I can see, this is definitely much smoother. It's not hot press yet, because hot press is even smoother compared to this fine grain paper. I'll be testing the paper with...
Wait, so the one on the left is this one over here. That's the Canson?
Yes, that's the Canson. It's in between what you're
Oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah, the one on the right is what I was like kind of afraid of.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that bad. It's not as textured as that. It's sort of in between.
Okay, I can handle that. Let's see what he.
Yeah,
this is the review.
And it's 140 pound. Even in 9x12, it's 140 pound.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love
quite
it.
Thick.
And it
this
feeds
is
through that
a
printer.
9x12-inch dimension. The paper weight is 300 GSM. Even though the Canson paper is labeled as having cold press texture, this is more of fine grain rather than cold press. On the right side, this is the Daler Rowney Aquafine watercolor paper. This is cold press texture.
Okay, yeah.
This is to see how good the paper is at blending colors. Good watercolor paper should be able to let the colors blend together gradually, softly. This is cellulose paper, so the durability of the paper is not going to be as good compared to cotton paper. Usually for such paper, it's good for pen and ink sketchers with maybe 2 or
it's real good for
3 layers of watercolor, but
it's better for pen and ink than it's supposed to be watercolor.
Paper fiber may come
Interesting.
off. Cotton paper is definitely more durable. And not just that, with this particular paper, because there isn't a lot of texture on the paper, if you keep glazing on it, the paper will not be able to absorb the watercolor. All right, now this is pretty wet. This is new gumbosh. We'll let the color blend into the paper. This is not too bad. Next, I'm going to paint a wet area and then paint in vertical strokes to see if the colors they can diffuse.
Yeah, Galaxy, I've heard of Blake.
So this is new gumbosh again. So when the wash is still wet, I'm going to paint some strokes between. So let's see if the red stroke, see if it can diffuse. With good watercolor paper, the paint should be able to diffuse softly and blend softly. So here it doesn't seem like it can.
So a Galaxy writer says, have y'all heard of Blick Art Materials? Their house brand is pretty on par with Canson. Yeah, Blick's been around forever, man. I used to shop there when I was in New York a lot. Blick and I used to, back in the day, I used to work for Sam Flax. Yeah, Blick's pretty good. I've never used their in-house brand, but I bet you're right. I wonder how they make the paper. That's actually a great idea, Galaxy. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, because you could tell from this, it's not like the best watercolor paper.
Yeah,
but it acts more like Bristol, like it's in between Bristol and watercolor paper.
interesting.
So on the left we have
so for inking, I love it.
We have a lot of New Gambosh. And on the right we have Pyro Vermilion.
Okay, I don't really care about his
Here
mixing
I try
skills.
to blend the color into the strokes onto the wash. And
yeah, because he's talking about using watercolor like he's a serious watercolor artist, and I'm like, no, I'm an illustrator. I don't want it to blend that way. I want it to behave more like acrylic wash.
Let's just see. How about this? Let's see. Best comic art paper, right? Something like that. Comic book paper. The best paper for comics. Yeah, all right.
All right, we're back. Kind of doing a weird format for this. The camera's on a tripod. I'm standing behind it. This is a really weird way to work, but I still haven't found a setup that I really like. The weird boom setup that I was doing before to get like really but the reason for the video is pretty simple. Over the course of the lifespan of this channel and all the your paper that's out there, I've done it on Canson, I've done it on Strathmore, all the series of Strathmore, 200, 300, 400, 500, Eon board, Blue Line Pro, I said Canson, Fabriano, Dick Blick's, the Blick Art Store, their stuff, the Leader manga paper. I've done it on every major paper that you can go out and buy. But I still get the question, what's the best paper? Now, the results are in the videos. Now, you kind of have to make up your own mind. I've done compatibility tests between every ink. I mean, I honestly feel at this point I've tested every India ink, black India ink that's on the market. There's a couple, lesser known brands, like little store brands here and there, but every popular brand, every major brand ink, I've tested. And I've done comparison tests to see we recommend personally. And that's Strathmore and Eon. Two brands of paper, address it. And my answer is, you're looking at it. So there's only two brands of paper that I recommend personally. That's Strathmore and Eon. And my opinion is 100% unbiased. Now, some people may have noticed or maybe even found my channel because my reviews of the Eon stuff has been put on the Eon, Brett Thompson's Twitter. One of my videos, even on their website. But I've never received a free product from any company, Eon included. I've never received anything. And any paper that you've seen or any ink that you've seen, I've purchased. And I always have Eon paper in stock. In every video I have a new pack of paper, or I'm still working through an old pack, and that's because I like the product and I keep buying it. So I'm 100% unbiased. I buy what works for me. Now, between brightness of paper, surface quality, surface durability, how the ink sits on the surface. That's what I mean by surface quality, how the ink sits on there, surface texture, all these things combined, there's only two papers that I like, and that's Strathmore and Eon. Now, when we talk about Strathmore, so I'm going to move the Eon out of the way real quick. When we talk about Strathmore, there's two options within Strathmore, and that's your 400 series paper and then your 500 series paper. Now, this is semi-smooth, which is, I'm starting to really like that, the semi-smooth for penciling and inking. But you also have plate finish.
That plate finish is the stuff I can't stand. You know what I'm saying?
yeah?
Avery?
No. Why? What's what with the plate finish?
The plate, if I remember correctly, the plate finish is the super smooth. That's the shiny gloss, like it's like a plate, right?
Gross.
Yeah. The other one seems okay though. I don't know I don't remember.
The one I had that's bad is just the regular Bristol. It's got like the yellow cover.
I've never seen this stuff. This semi-smooth surface. That looks like it might be something.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
And I've never heard of Eon before, but okay.
103 ply. This is 500 2 ply. 103 ply. This plate finish. So these are both plates. This is 403 ply. This is 500 2 ply. So these are your options. Now, the stuff that you buy from Strathmore like this, whether it's a loose leaf like this stuff back here, or the 500 like this, they're not pre-ruled. They don't have your guidelines already printed on them. And the 400 itself is not available from Strathmore in 11 by 17. So do you buy it pre-ruled or not? Right? That's the big thing. Do you want to buy the 11 by 17, draw or print your own guidelines on there, or do you buy it pre-ruled? If you're gonna buy it pre-ruled, do you go 400 or 500? For me, 400 versus 500 really doesn't make a difference. The 400, the wood pulp paper versus the cotton paper doesn't give me enough difference to justify always buying 500. I really just buy whichever one a store has in stock at the time, whatever I get the best price on. So I have the ability of printing my own guidelines. So I buy the 500 a lot because I can buy the 500 for cheaper than the 400. But I also, personally, I like 3-ply paper. So when I can get 400 series 3-ply, I do, because the 500 3-ply is just too freaking expensive for what it offers me versus the 400. So, and when you talk about, okay, now we want to do pre-ruled, right? So I can get 400, 500, 2 or 3-ply pre-ruled. You have some options. You can go through the Kubert School, which is who I go through to buy my paper, typically, which is the Kubert Art School. I go through their campus store to buy the stuff. Or you can go through like Blue Line Art. They sell Strathmore paper. It's the only paper that's, it's not their paper. They just cut it and rule it. They actually probably contract that out, but you can buy 2, 3, and 4-ply 400 and 500 series through them. And stuff's expensive, right? So we're looking here. This is 12 sheets for $17, right? American, United States dollars. Now, when we start talking about this, and when you bring up the fact that Strathmore's had previous issues with consistency,
that's what you're talking about.
While I do think personally, it's gotten better over the last 5 to 10 years. Every once in a while, I will find a bad sheet or a bad batch. That's why
I've got tablets of it that are bad.
Huh?
I've got multiple tablets of it that are bad.
Ugh.
Where I bought a bunch because it was on sale,
and
it's all bad. It's all waxy.
Yeah, that's not good.
Kind of fill that hole in the market that's sick and tired of the risk of paying $50 on paper and having an entire batch be bad. So that brings us over to our Eon paper. This stuff honestly is near just as good. And they both have their pros and cons, right? So if I sit these two side by side like they were in the video, you can see that there's a brightness difference. Now, the brightness is a pro and con. This is 98 bright, which is friggin' bright. It's one of the highest scales I've ever seen. I think it is the highest. I've seen other 98 brightness paper, specialty paper, and it's about as high as you can get on brightness. Now, the problem with that is that it's hard to find correction fluid that works for it, that matches well. So if you're concerned about how the original artwork looks, which is why you would buy something that's this bright, because you want that popping contrast of the ink on something that's that bright, you're gonna have to spend the time to find paper or inks, white inks or white gouaches and stuff like that you can use as a correction fluid that won't look off color to this.
That's interesting. I hadn't really thought about that.
Yeah, it's something I don't care about.
Right.
It's like, I don't care.
Yeah. It's just interesting, like from the perspective of it, right?
Because that's probably going to color shift anyway over time.
Yeah.
And it's about how it reproduces that matters.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more.
He's being
There's
too
also
OCD.
less.
He's too OCD for me.
Yeah, I love it though. I'm nerding out. It's great.
I'm like Canson watercolor paper heavy. I use heavy ink. You know, I splatter ink. I use lots of whiteout and white ink and acrylic. And so
Yeah. Let's see.
Inks that are compatible with the Eon board than say Strathmore. Every ink that I've tested has worked on Strathmore board. Now, whether or not the board works at all is another story, but every ink I've ever tested on a good batch has works. So that's your trade-off, right? But it is cheaper. You're just talking about $1 per page with Eon versus more than $1 per page with Strathmore. More higher consistency with Eon versus, it's hit or miss with Strathmore, although it's been getting better. But when at the bottom of the day, at the end of the day, at the bottom line, this and this are the only papers that I recommend, Strathmore and Eon. And that's what works for me. If that's the answer you're looking for, you can go ahead and close out the video. All right. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the disclaimer. And the disclaimer is what works for me may not work for you. What fits in my budget may not fit in your budget. And what I need as a semi-professional may not be what you need as someone who's starting off. Chances are, if you're looking at this video, you are someone that's starting off or someone that's been doing this for a little bit, but have just used whatever you could and want to finally get out and get some better supplies, right? So, what works for me, like I said, may not work for you. And you kind of have to look at your individual situation. If your technique and the way you draw requires you to use a very thin ink, something like a Black Magic or a Deleter, I think like the number 3, or a Pilot ink or Pelican.
Okay. Well, this is Pelican's good.
Something like that, a super thin ink, Ultra Draw, for example. If you need a really thin ink to be able to lay your lines down, then Eon is not for you, right? You should probably use Strathmore. Now, if you're using a thicker ink, then Eon is a viable option. Now, if you're not even using 11x17, then don't buy Eon because there's no point in buying.
So fascinating, man. We'll look this up. What is this? This is the Strathmore Bristol semi-smooth. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, they don't even have it for sale on Amazon. It's out. Oh yeah, someone actually said 2 years ago, Avery, on that semi-smooth, that's the one with the Strathmore. The question was, is this paper plate finisher semi-smooth? The picture says semi-smooth, but the description, like this, the description says plate. An excellent question. I purchased this paper before, and it was indeed semi-smooth, but the newest batch I picked up here at an online art supply store are clearly plate finish. I do not recommend if you want a little tooth to your paper. So yeah, it's the batch problem, right?
Yeah, dude. Strathmore, I'll never buy their paper again, even if they fix the problem, because I'm happy with what I'm getting and how much paper I'm getting from Canson for the money and the results I'm getting.
Yeah.
But I have a rough style, so the tooth doesn't bother me. And it's not like you saw in that other video, it's not that toothy. And the white ink that I use, the Black Star, because I buy Black Star ink is my favorite ink to use, and the Bombay white, and I use gel pens. It looks fine.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I use some white out, and it looks fine. And it reproduces good. I'm happy.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to check this out, man. Good stuff. Because yeah, I mean, I could do like I don't want to use. I don't know, man. I want to find something a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. All right. What about you, Andrew? You don't use paper. I'm just kidding.
Nah, I'm a feces on the wall kind of guy. So
Yeah, dude, that's the best.
yeah.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Awesome. Well, maybe we should wrap it up, guys. Based on that. Anyway.
Hey, you asked for it.
I did. Anyway.
Shit on the wall.
Yo, happy Friday. Love it. Are we doing this next week? Are we doing this next Friday?
We can.
Why not? It's the 30th.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's not anything special.
Sure, count me in.
Right on. Awesome. Well, we love you guys, everybody. Thank you so much. Galaxy Rider says, "End on feces." Yeah, I can't pass that. There's nothing about.
Hey, I was super quiet letting you guys listen to that idiot, and I had to bring something.
That dude's a little too OCD for me.
Well, as soon as he started saying, "I only use Strathmore, it's the only thing I use," I'm like, I discount his opinion completely.
Why?
Yeah.
Strathmore sucks.
I've literally got 5 or 6 pads of the stuff. I can't.
Yeah, I know. I refuse to buy it. How many times have you, Avery? You know this to be a fact. How many times did you buy Strathmore, take it to a convention, and the paper looks like crap under the lights?
Oh, dude, it was like yellow.
Yes, it was yellow. It was horrible. Where Canson was bright white, and it was the same exact paper. It was Bristol versus Bristol, but the Canson looks like ever living crap under those lights.
The Strathmore,
especially the Strathmore. Yes, especially if you use whiteout on it.
Oh yeah, it looked terrible.
Horrible. I
love that Canson watercolor paper.
Yeah,
it works wonderful for me.
Yeah, if all you're gonna do is push Strathmore, whatever. You obviously haven't experienced other things. So.
I've used every paper.
Yeah, hey! Whatever's on sale is what we buy.
I've never noticed the yellow Strathmore effect.
Oh, we have.
Oh, it's horrible. It's nasty.
I don't like it.
You mean like when your paper turns yellow, or like
no, it just looks yellow under fluorescent lights.
Under fluorescent lights, it looks horrible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
No, literally, we took illustrations that we did prior to a show, put them out on the table, and we're like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's
bad
crazy.
stuff.
Galaxy Rider says, "Happy holidays, night, everyone."
Happy holidays, guys.
Join us next week for my next feces drawing.
Next week,
it's coming.
We're gonna put Andrew in the spotlight, and he can carry the show. But anyway, love you guys. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the good stuff. Love you guys so much, and yeah, we will see you next Friday.
Hey, join me tomorrow, Saturday at 8:00 on the Scams Misfit Corner Scams for our Christmas Eve spectacular. We're all gonna drink eggnog and toast.
Oh yeah, I don't have any
toast the Merry Christmas.
Oh, that'll be awesome. I'll try to show up if I can. We'll have family coming in, but I'll try to.
Oh, I guess I'll send you an invite. All right. I mean, shit. Put me on the spot, because now I'm gonna feel bad if I don't send them an invite.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Love you guys. See you next week. Have a good Christmas and holiday, and try to get some relaxation in. All right. See you guys next week. Peace out.
When you're done